significant other, the behaviors that I love, I talk about. The things that are good and positive, I talk about, and he does the same thing. In this way, we are training each other, as I say. You teach people how to treat you, but we are training each other what it takes to make us happy in the relationship, or what feels right to us. If I like something that's done, I talk about it. Now, here's the negative drawback if you're not in gratitude. If you're talking about the thing you don't like, that gets done more too, guys. So that's the power in your words. But that's why they say to emote, because that emoting taps into, it's so amazing how our brains work, but actually the center of our brain that's devoted to social intelligence, social meaning interacting with others, okay? So you've got to emote in order to really heighten the level of gratitude and to make that gratitude exponent go through the roof, okay? It's very, very important to be emoting whenever you're in gratitude. So finally, for other new and wonderful brain cell connections to grow and to go into long-term memory and to spread out into the subconscious where they begin to become deep beliefs and they can drive you forward, that emoting is very important. So the repetition, the daily exercise helps you to fire new synapses. But gratitude is more than magnetizing things to you. So that skirt story is fun, all well and good, but it's not about stuff. I've attracted to me experiences, opportunities, people, places, and stuff, but it's not about the stuff. The stuff, I think that our angels are crafty, that they know that we pay attention to that because our society is pretty material, so they're like, hey, watch this magic trick we're about to do that takes 4 months, but it happens. And I think that's how they get our attention. But the deep lesson I learned is, wow, I wasn't obsessing over the skirts. I wanted them, I thought about it, and then I dropped it. Now, there have been things in my life, and maybe there are things in your life that you've wanted that you've obsessed over. And then you're like, why is it coming? Why isn't it coming? Why isn't it coming? Because you're not really in gratitude, you're in desperation, and that energy pushes things away. And I've been there, so I'm not hating on you. This is something I do and have done where I'm wanting something so badly, I can't even attract it into my energy field because I am wanting it too badly. So I found this trick. I will never forget it. Maybe it's just being grateful. Maybe it's just saying thanks for already giving it to me and acting like I have it, and then watching how it comes, what magical way that it comes into my life. So that repetition daily, even though I wrote a few notes about the gratitude, it helps because it fires new synapses, and it really gets you into this new space. It's and this is the thing that I wanted to talk about when I said there's a reason I had to write the letter T, because I was uncomfortable with thinking of myself as whatever, whatever the letter is. When I saw the W and I thought, yeah, I'm a teacher, but Jesus, I'm not Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, I really get uncomfortable sometimes because, I have to balance my own self, and I think, well, does this feel right to me? And what I love gratitude, and this is what it's been proven especially effective for, especially recently, there have been a lot of studies where it's effective in healing childhood wounds. So all of us experience childhood wounding on some form of another because at that age we are vulnerable. We have not developed the part of our brain that helps us to block out that information. And so, as I was going through all this, I thought, this might be really helpful to know so that we might not be so hard on ourselves. But it is the prefrontal cortex that helps us to block out that information. And it is literally the last part of our brain to fully develop. In a funny trick that God plays on us, it doesn't fully develop until age 20. Now, doesn't that explain a lot about some of your choices in high school and as a child? We literally are not thinking right because our brains are not done growing. So I thought that was funny and hilarious. I've always listened to that, when you're doing classes in psychology and sociology and they're talking about this in college, and you hear it, but over the past couple years, I really heard it, and in my spirit, like, oh, you're not even fully formed yet. And that's why those years are so challenging. But the thing to go back to childhood wounding, the thing that's really important to understand is if that prefrontal cortex isn't fully formed, you are not able to filter out negative information. It slips in easily into the brain unfiltered. And the more negative that it is, and the more negatively charged the information is, a parent yelling at you, someone telling you you're worthless, good for nothing, someone saying, whatever about you or your family, or that you're just like your mother or your father or whatever. These things stick, and you start to identify because you don't have the part of the brain developed yet to actually filter out that information and be like, okay, you're crazy, this is a little over the line, this is a boundary, you've crossed it, I'm uncomfortable. You don't know, so you just take it as the gospel truth, and you take it into your spirit, and the more negatively charged they are, the more they stick into your subconscious, and they become limiting beliefs, which obviously can hold us back. Now, that's why we get back to the letter T for me, because in that being, I am a visionary, and I'm writing the letter T, I'm undoing my limiting beliefs from childhood where I didn't think whatever I didn't think about myself, and we all have those limiting beliefs. And so that was why I spent that much time writing that letter, because I had to rewire some things in my brain so that I can understand my possibility instead of my problems. And so I think that when you're dealing with gratitude, if you understand how it can truly free you and that it's more than getting the skirts, and it's more than getting the spouse, and it's more than getting the house, and I'm going to turn it to Dr. Seuss here in a minute, but it's more than that. It's more than the things and the materialism. It's about transforming your life. There are times when I have been very unhappy with situations I've been in, and I would start thinking about the situation I wanted to be in, and I could see it come into my life. It's inevitable. When you put it out there, when you put it in the bank, it's an escrow, it is yours. It is yours. I believe that. Now, it doesn't mean my life is ideal at the moment or perfect in any way. I still work through things, and that's why the show's called Evolve and not, I already did it, y'all. Been done it. That's why it's called Evolve, because I am constantly evolving. But I find that with gratitude, you are able to exponentially increase your evolution and your growth by thinking about the things you are wanting to manifest and see happen in your life. Now, that doesn't mean that just writing, like I said, that gratitude note makes it be enough. So think about those three keys: emote, exercise, extend yourself. I want to ask you, when's the last time you extended yourself? We live in a brave new world, and we are the most social we've ever been and the most insular we've ever been. And I stood at a graduation over my little holidays here that I've been taking during the summer for that beautiful young woman Legacy, who is now Dr. Legacy. And I was watching her walk across the stage, and before she got up there, it was something like out of a sci-fi movie. Everyone was standing up, and everyone had their phones in their hands trying to capture the moment of these graduates coming across the stage. And it was this beautiful area that we were in with a canopy of trees overhanging us, and the weather was ideal that day. It was cool but still warm. Blue skies up above through the canopy and cumulus clouds, and everybody in their Sunday best celebrating these recent graduates. A sea of people, and I was standing at the back of the crowd, and they were all with one arm extended in the air in reality, but a virtual reality, with their phone up. None of them looking at the stage. They were looking at their phone. It was super meta, if you know what that means. It was inside of itself. I felt like I was watching something, but we were watching them walk across the stage, but I was watching the watchers watch. It was incredible. And I was sober, guys. So it was a mind-blowing LSD moment, trust me. And I thought, this is the world we live in. We're all here to celebrate and be in communion with these people and provide our energy and say, congratulations, you're graduating, but none of us are here. We're not really extending ourselves. We're not really involved in the moment. We are capturing the moment so that we can capture the moment, so that we can caption the moment. Does that make sense for my Instagram lovers? We're capturing the moment so that we can capture the moment so that we can caption the moment. And sometimes we forget to be present. Sometimes we forget that human connection and extending ourselves and emoting to another human can shift us into a new dimension. And I get that that's what we were there to do, so I'm not knocking any of those people because I was certainly one of them with my phone up. But I stood there thinking, if someone from 1950 could see this picture right now with everyone with a computer in their hand, everyone, kids, adults, grandparents, with computers in their hand, not watching the magic happening on the stage of this moment that will never be seen again in person, but looking at their screens to make sure they're capturing the moment that is so special. So I want to remind you to be in touch. Be in touch with your fellow humans. Look up from your phones. Look up and be grateful for this incredible world that we live in that's still here right now. Be thankful for the world that we're in. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for the people that are around you. And watch how you notice more of the beautiful things that life is always offering. When you step away from gratitude, you will find yourself in a place of lack, is what I found. That's the contrast. When you're in gratitude, you feel abundance. When you're outside of gratitude, you're feeling lack. You feel like nothing is enough, you don't have enough. And with that dear friend I always talk about, I find myself sometimes commiserating. You guys know, commiserate. And we're sharing the trials and tribulations of life. And sometimes I snap us out of it. And recently, and sometimes she'll snap me out of it. We remind each other, so it's not just me. Can I say I'm so grateful for her? We remind each other daily to be grateful for the things we have, the small blessings that come our way, the stream of income that might come that we weren't expecting. And one of the things that I do, too, to help get me into a more grateful state when I'm thinking about gratitude is music. And I had this song. It's from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. It was the theme song for that show. And it's all things just keep getting better. If I'm upset with my spouse, if I am frustrated with the way something is or isn't going in my life, or I need to just shift myself, I literally put that song on, and I can't help but be smiling before it's over, and I'm singing, all things just keep getting better, and the lyrics say days keep getting better, nights keep getting better, all things just keep getting better. And it's a love song, and it's a song about happiness and friendship, but I use it as a song to realign me, to remind me that if I say it's so, it is so. And you know what? By the time the song's over, I feel better. Life looks a little better. I'm not so upset about whatever I'm upset about, and I'm able to move in a direction that I can now plug back into gratitude, because when we talked about feeling with gratitude, it's not just lip service. You have to feel it. So if I'm saying all things just keep getting better, but I want to write a list of people that I'm not so happy with, then what do you think is going to win out there? So I have to shift myself. So that's one of the tools that I found to be incredibly helpful is music. So if you find yourself in that position, guys, that's my song. Find your own song. I'd love to know what your song is. What is your song? What gets you to the place where you can feel grateful for the moment that you're in? I have a couple. So that one is one. And then there's another one. It's a Christian song, and it's these 1,000 hills. I think it's by Third Day. These 1,000 hills roll ever on, footprints of an awesome God. And it says something like, it brings me to my knees in praise, amazing love, amazing grace. Whether you're Christian or not, think about our world and how blessed we are. Think about it. Look around. If you go to a favorite vacation spot, that shouldn't be the only time that you're appreciating and in gratitude for the place we get to live. It shouldn't be the only time you're appreciating and in gratitude for the person you get to spend time with. We're so blessed, each of us. And if you just take a little time to be introspective, you can find something to think about so that soon you can bank about it. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. Remember to be grateful in all things. One of the other letters that I practice writing is letter G, and the letter G